What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Today, we're going to be talking about exclusively police and thief game yet again. I'm going to give you guys some potential price points, some potential price targets of where it can go, and I'm also going to make some comparisons to Wolf Game because that's what this game is kind of based off of. So we can see kind of where can the game go, best case scenario, if the developers really push this thing to its limits. So one of the things that you'll see that you might have noticed in the title of the video is a $500 loot to, or a $500 NFT from the police game. So that means these cops and these robbers, or these thieves and these police, could potentially be worth $500 a pop. So I'll let you guys know where I got that exact number from in a little bit. But currently, right now, we're looking at the police and thieves worth about $160 a pop. Police slightly more expensive than the thieves, and of course, I still do think this is going to be quite volatile over the next couple of days, especially as we're getting to I think we're past the halfway point. We're almost at the 2/3 of the way through point of all these things being minted. Now, full note here, you can take a look at the last video that I made. I was talking about another NFT called Cops and Robbers, which is launching on Solana. That one's kind of a crap show right now with kind of the Solana network being down. But nonetheless, I also talked about police thieves in that video yesterday, and I talked a little bit about what my strategy was. And lo and behold, that strategy worked out fantastically today. This was the video that I recorded yesterday, and I purchased about 10 of these police and thieves. I think I got mostly thieves and one police yesterday to purchase 10 of them, and they were worth about $70 at the time. So right now we can take a look and see right now they're worth $160. So that is more than 2x of 10 of those things that I bought. So I'm very, very happy that I did get uh, you know, uh, a good strategy in terms of buying these things. Now, I talked in that last video about why I believe that it was a really, really good buying opportunity at less than $100. I think that less than $200 is probably a good buying opportunity too, especially if this game lives up to the highest expectations that people have, and if the devs really push it to the same level as Wolf Game. So we can talk about Wolf Game next. So if you guys don't know, the whole police and thieves game, cops and robbers game, is based on this game here on Ethereum called Wolf Game. Now, one of the reasons why it's really popular on the Avalanche blockchain right now is because to play this game on Ethereum, it's very, very expensive because of gas fees. But nonetheless, being on the Avalanche blockchain, people can do a lot more with their loot, with their thieves, with their cops, with their robbers on a daily basis, interacting with it and interacting with the community. Now, the key takeaway here is that Wolf Game has evolved quite a bit from where it first started. You guys can see the website. I'm not really going to get into this too much, but they talk about land, they talk about the risky game, wool pouches. They made two different versions of the NFT, and you can also compare this to EtherOrcs too. NFTs, if you think that once an NFT launches, that's it, you can't really do anything else with it. That's just not the case anymore. You can upgrade NFTs to do completely different things. You can migrate to a completely different contract to upgrade the game even more. If your developers are up to snuff with their developmental skills, they really can push this game way beyond what you can kind of imagine with a coin, or with what you're seeing right now with the police and thieves game. There can be so much more to it, and like I really did learn that from what EtherOrcs was when it first started. It was very basic, and it evolved into something that is continuing to evolve today, and it's kind of more complex and more fun to mess around with, and you can still make money with it. The same case is true for Wolf Game over on Ethereum. It's been evolved a lot, and the same case can happen with the police and thief game. So that's something to keep in mind as you're really evaluating what are these things worth in the long term. Are you actually going to play the long term for police and thief, or are you going to play the short term and try to make a couple bucks and then go on to the next thing? So a couple takeaways from my personal opinion, and why I'm sort of going for the longer term hold for police and thieves, is because it is right now the number one or number two number one or number two NFT on the Avalanche blockchain. I mean, it's got $9.14 million in market cap. It really is outclassing pretty much everything else underneath it, and there's still a lot of interest in it. and a lot of like it's kind of past that first test of are people just going to dump this thing to death. Well, we had that day yesterday where the bottom was sort of tested, and it has risen up again, and you can see that people are still interested in seeing where this game can go. So honestly, in my opinion, it's really all about what can the devs do to continue that momentum for Police and Thieves. Now, where did I get the $500 price point for the Police and Thief game? So to give you a little background information, in my video yesterday, I said $200 is kind of the fair valuation for these Police and Thieves. I'm not going to get rid of mine for anything less than $200 at all. And that's just because if it were to take the top spot or tie with the chicken game right here, and honestly, I do believe that this game can be a little bit more fun and more interactive than the chicken game, because I do have actually chicken NFT as well. But nonetheless, if it gets to the same level as the chicken game, then you're looking at a price point of about $200. So that's where I got that number from right there with a pretty even market cap. You're looking at $200 minimum. Now, where's the $500 coming from? If we can see NFTs continue to grow on the Avalanche blockchain like we saw on the Ethereum blockchain, and honestly, NFTs in general are growing significantly in Ethereum and everywhere else, so I do think that it's only a matter of time before you see multiple of these blockchains hit levels that are similar to that of Ethereum with Bored Ape Yacht Club, with $250,000 NFTs in the number one spot. I mean, imagine that. Imagine having your number one and number two tokens on OpenSea or like Bored Ape Yacht Club and another ape token, and they don't really do that much. So having a number one and number two spot comparable over on the Avalanche blockchain, $250,000 token, you're looking at maybe like a $10,000 Police and Thief at that moment. But that's way beyond in the pipe dreams. I'm not going to speculate that far ahead in the future right now. But if we were to compare it to something like Wolfgang on Ethereum, which is not, it's definitely not a number one game on Ethereum, but it's definitely in the top 50 at the very least. And if the Avalanche Police and Thieves gets to the same level as Wolf Game in terms of development and people jumping into it, and the overall NFT space in the Avalanche blockchain evolving over time, like the Ethereum NFT space evolved, then you're looking at a token close to about $500. Now, the way that I did that, I'm not going to get too much into the math. There's only 13.7 thousand items over here, whereas with the Wolf Game, there is 50,000 items. So if you divide 50,000 by 13,000, you get about 3.96. And the price for the Wolf Game token right now is, I think it's like $2,000 or something like that. So if you multiply 2,000 or divide 2,000 by 3.96, then you're going to get a price point of about $500 a pop for these Police and Thieves. Now, if that were the case, how much money could you make? How much money would I have made from doing that? Let's go ahead and go back and see kind of how much I have going here at $2,000, or I'm sorry, at $500 a piece with 26 NFTs. I think that's going to put I got to get the calculator and I can't do the math off the top of my head while I'm talking right now. So 26, we're going to multiply that by $500. That's about $13,000 right there. So that's kind of my viewpoint in this for the long term. If you want to look at best case scenario, if the NFT space in the Avalanche blockchain grows, and if the devs over here at Police and Thieves can keep the momentum going and keep the game going over time, then you're looking at very, very nice profits for these NFTs. And that's again why personally I still have a lot of funds left over to scoop. I am definitely doing some scooping. I told you guys my strategy yesterday, and I'm going to tell you guys the same thing again today. If this thing does dip, and I do think that dips will continue to happen over the next couple of days, especially due to the fact that, let's go back and show you guys here again here, especially due to the fact that loot, I think the price of loot is going to be fair. I don't think that the price of the, well, it might happen, but I don't think that the price of these NFTs are just going to go up an extra third just because the minting price is going to be 60,000. But I do think that when we get to that $60,000 price, the price of loot will go down. But I think over time, the value of these NFTs is going to stick at close to $200. over time. So if I see a major drop, because like the market's going to react the way the market's going to react. People are going to not really have a plan. They're going to look at the loot price and then panic if the loot price goes down like they did yesterday. And if that does happen, and if we do see another drop in the police and thief game token, especially below $100 at $70 point, or maybe even lower than that, to get people really panicking, that is going to be my time to scoop up kind of my last bit of these NFTs. And then from then on out, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with my farmed tokens, because until then, and again, you guys can do whatever you want with this information. You can copy me, you can do completely different things, but this is just what I'm doing. But until then, what I'm going to be doing with all of my loot is I'm going to be selling all of my loot as soon as I get it. And the reason for that is because there's still plenty to be farmed from all of my NFTs. I don't really have to FOMO into holding those tokens for a long time. And worst case scenario, I can buy when it, especially after it gets to the 60,000 to mint price. When I do believe the price is going to go down, I can just scoop up a lot more loot if I do decide I want to hold a lot of that. But until then, I'm going to be selling it, and then at the $60,000 loot point is when I'm going to decide: do I want to keep this loot? Do I want to keep the loot that my thieves and my police are farming, or do I want to kind of sell it? I'm gonna have to reevaluate once we get to like about the point right here, depending on what the devs say and what's gonna happen with this in the future. So overall, really good day for NFTs for myself. We'll see what happens tonight. I mean, tonight probably not too much is gonna happen with the price, but later on, probably tomorrow, hopefully this price will go down a little bit. So cross fingers crossed, so I can scoop up a little bit more. And you really have to play these NFT games not with your heart, but with your brain. Don't be married to it. Figure out your strategy, work around that strategy, and hope for the best. So that is everything for today, guys. Now, if you do want to get access to my videos up to 2 to 3 days early, this one again I'm going to be releasing for everyone at the same time. But if you also want to get access to things like my Discord, where I talk about these strategies over there, you guys can ask me questions or bring up other types of NFTs that you think might be up and coming. Also, I might be doing more giveaways, especially tonight if I get lucky in the next day or so and I double my money again with these things and I purchase at another all-time low and it goes up a lot, I'll probably be doing another giveaway for those of you who are in my Patreon. So again, that Patreon is available in the link below. If you guys aren't a part of that yet, you might get a chance to get another free NFT if I do kind of do some good trades in the next couple days. That is everything for today, guys. Just wanted to give you an update on that. I do still want to do an Ether Orcs video. I'm waiting probably a week or so because my orcs are kind of doing some stuff where I can't really show you too much. But that is everything, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.